Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another podcast episode. Glad to have you here. And today I'm talking about something a little bit different than what I would usually talk about. But I'm really excited to share it with you because over the last probably 6 months or so, we've been going through a really big transformation as a company. So much so that around about a month ago, we actually made a decision to end our corporation in the UK and launch a brand new company out of Panama. Now that I live in Costa Rica, it just makes a lot more sense to have a company locally. But what that inspired me to do was actually to create a whole new company, a whole new vision for what we want to create. And what I want to do on today's episode is share this vision with you guys, because as we've grown our company over the last 3 to 4 years, we've gone through some pretty dramatic transformations. You know, when I started my business nearly 6 years ago, I went through 5, 6, 7 different companies before we finally landed on podcasting, which is what we've done for the last 3.5, nearly 4 years now. And throughout that time, we've really innovated, we've changed the approach, but we've always stood true to our core concept, which is something called podcast closing. And if you guys aren't familiar with what podcast closing is, it's kind of like the backbone of what our company is, which is we really show people how to use a podcast to attract your dream client, build a really great relationship with them, give them an absolutely world-class interview, and then at the end, simply offer them for the chance to work together and to get onto a sales call. And this has been the backbone of what drives all of our revenue, all of our results. And it's actually now factoring into how we are growing our companies. And over the next 4 years, we actually want to grow our company to nearly 100 million downloads across our whole podcast network, which is just the shows that we own. And I'm really excited about the direction that we're going and for the new company. So as I'm recording this, we have not set up the brand new company just yet. We're still going through the paperwork and things. So I'm not going to tell you about the name of the company or anything like that. But what I do want to share with you is the vision of what we've created. And some of you guys might be aware, but around about a year ago, I read a really amazing book by Cameron Herold, which is called The Vivid Vision. And honestly, I don't read a lot of books. I tend to just, pick a couple of books and then I'll read them a few times over and over and over. But The Vivid Vision has become one of my kind of all-time top 3 favorite books. The other 2 are Expert Secrets and $100 Million Offers, in case you were wondering. But today, what I want to share with you guys is the vivid vision that we created for our company. And, the idea behind a vivid vision is really, really simple, is that you look 3 years into the future. So this vivid vision is what our company is going to look like from November 1st, 2025. So that's the date we've set. And the reason that we create a vivid vision and the reason that we share it, not just with our internal teams, but with you guys, the audience, is the more we share it, the more it becomes reality. And I'm going to break down essentially what our business is going to look like in a couple of key areas. So we're going to include everything from talking about what our programs are going to look like, what our events and retreat experiences are going to look like by then. We're going to talk about our clients. We're going to talk about our brand, what our podcast is going to look like, our community, our team culture, our values, our finances, even our media. And so it's going to be perhaps a little bit of a longer episode, but it's going to be really powerful to share because we write this from the perspective of it already having happened. And it's one of my favorite processes. So because we've got so much to go through, I just want to dive right in and share this with you guys. And full disclaimer, everything that we are doing in regards to the way that we're creating this new company, one of our key core values, and we'll touch into them in a second, is all about experience. After traveling for 5 or 6 years, one of the big things that I really love about travel is the experiences that you create. The more experiences you have, actually, the longer your lifetime is perceived. That there's this really interesting principle that I actually heard from Russell Brunson, who learned it from somebody else. I don't know who it was. But he went to this event and this guy talked about something called event horizons. And the idea is that when you go through life, can you imagine any time in your life where you've been in a commute, in your car, maybe you're driving 40 minutes to work, 30 minutes to work, an hour to work, and you blink and it's like that time has gone by instantly, right? I used to do a 2-hour commute every day. Actually, it was 3 hours, an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. And almost all the time, that 3 hours would feel like 20 seconds. And the reason that happens is that your brain indexes repeatable tasks, and it does it to be efficient. So that instead of being conscious, you are unconsciously doing those activities. But the problem when that happens is that time condenses. And so that 3 hours disappears in literally a couple of moments. Whereas if you go to a brand new country and you go around on a 3-day trip and you experience all of these amazing things, those 3 days can feel like 2 weeks in terms of perceived time. And so what we really want to focus on as a core, thing in regards to our company is that we want to focus on giving our team, giving ourselves more experiences. Because the more experiences we can have, the more event horizons that we can have in our business, in our life, in our everyday, the longer our perceived lifespan can be. I remember when I was traveling around Asia and I was traveling to new countries all the time, a year of travel felt like 5 years at my old job because I was experiencing so many new things. So that's a big component, and you'll hear this being weaved in throughout us sharing this vivid vision. So let me start off by describing the core of our business, which is going to be the programs, the offers that we sell. And so our business, it's really designed around just a few key principles. First, we focus on keeping both our own and our own clients' businesses as simple as possible. And 2, we focus on using one model to grow our business, which is podcasting. And 3, we focus on only bringing in clients and team members who love what we do in our process. So one direction, not the band, we grow our business using podcasting. 2, we keep it really simple. And 3, we only bring in people who love what we do. And this is really important to me because as you do more and more activities in your business, you'll notice that if you want to do something for the long term, it has to be something you enjoy, right? Like if you are going out and trying to write Facebook posts, but you hate writing Facebook posts, you won't do it for the long term. So we don't want to attract clients who don't love podcasting, because if you need to be motivated to go and do a podcast interview, then this process probably isn't going to be cut out for you. You've got to already love this process the same way that we do in our team. Every single one of our team members is passionate about podcasting, and that's a really important thing. So we keep our business really simple, and we just have 2 offers by November 2025. So we have a core offer and we have a higher level mastermind program. And both of these programs, they include our events as a cornerstone of the experience. And we're known for having the best podcasting program in the industry and the world that gets huge results, and it blows other products out of the water with the quality and the value. Both of these programs, they lead neatly into one another. The first helps people get to 6 and multiple 6 figures with their podcast. The second program helps them to get past 7 figures. And so we're known as the best in the industry because we create so many 6, multi-6, and 7-figure podcasts. So many people out there just aren't able to make money from their shows, and we will just churn out people who make so much money from their podcasts. So program number 1, this is actually the one that we're launching in November the 21st, 2022, if you're listening to this, and it's called 6-Figure Podcast, and it's a 16-week program. And so in our 6-figure podcast program, we help 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs create a system for predictable client acquisition without relying on paid advertising or social media. And so our core methodology is based on our podcast closing system. 1, we attract our dream customer to apply to be featured on our podcast. That's where we filter them. 2, we interview them to build an amazing relationship. That's the relationship and reciprocity. And 3, we make them an offer at the end of the conversation for a sales call. And we make sure we offer that every time. And we have 6 core steps that we go through in this program with 3 kind of distinct phases for the first program that we're going through. So the stage is, step 1, it's the basics of the offer, understanding who the rich marketplace, how to build a grand slam offer, how to price it correctly. And then we create something called the podcast identity pillars and minimum viable customer requirements. This gives us a really strong basis of the offer. Step 2 is we build the funnel. So an entire podcast closing marketing system. We've built this for ourselves and we give it to you guys inside of the program. Step 3, we're going to fill that funnel with traffic. So both basic and advanced. Step 4, we teach you guys the podcast closing skill, how to get 50% plus of the interviews you do converting into sales calls. Step 5 is we focus on sales closing skills, how to convert more people into your offers, how to improve your closing rate from 10% to 20% to 30%. And then step 6 is scale. How do we now take it to the next level? And so we do this through 3 distinct phases. The first phase is the clarity phase. We do this on the first onboarding call. It's getting clear on the offer, the rich marketplace, and creating the identity of your show. Step 2, phase 2 is the building phase, where we get you to build out the funnel and create the automatic systems. It takes most people about 30 days. The fastest time so far was 12 days. One of our clients, Jessica, just did it in 12 days, set a new record. And then phase 3, which is really for the rest of the program, is the execution phase. We focus on just getting traffic into the funnel, which is remarkably easy because it's a podcast. And then we focus on getting you to do as many interviews and close as many sales as possible. Usually the only thing stopping you as a business owner from getting more momentum, getting more sales, is just how much time you're spending on sales activities. So most of our clients, we get them to start blocking out 12 from 3 every day for sales activities, and then eventually 12 from 5, and then eventually we start to bring in extra team members. The only difference between a 6-figure business and an 8-figure business isn't what they're doing every day. They're both doing the basics. It's just that 8-figure business does a lot more volume. So we help clients really understand and rewire their brain to say, how do I just do more volume? And that's the very first thing we focus on. And so this methodology is actually the one we use in our business day in and day out. We drink our own Kool-Aid. This is what allows us to be constantly innovating and to be the best in the industry. We do this exact process to get all of our clients. And so the quantifiable end result that we give people, what they get when they come through this program, is a podcast that's producing 10 to 30K a month in sales, aka a 6-figure podcast. And that program in 2025 is going to be completely hands-off with me as the CEO. We're going to have an incredible head coach who leads our clients to getting huge success. We're always innovating, changing materials to deliver the best value. And the program basically includes both done with you coaching elements as well as done for you assets to get the podcast system built as quickly as possible. We have an amazing support team who works alongside that head coach. And we use all of the affiliate sales that come through from the recommended systems that we have in the system to go towards something we call a program improvement fund. And so this fund is basically designed to reinvest all the money into ways to improve the process for our clients. So some of the ways we distribute that money are into new team members and support staff, training for the teams, new trainings and softwares to experiment and keep our program to be the best in the world. And so this is what the first program is going to look like in November 2025. To be honest, it's actually kind of already like that. So that's kind of good. That one's pretty much done. Program number 2, Podcast Closing Teams Mastermind. This is not your launch yet, and we will be launching it in the future. And in our Podcast Closing Teams Mastermind, we basically help businesses from $300,000 a year to $10 million a year to turn their podcast into a podcast closing team so they can grow their podcast to over 7 figures a year and build a market-leading podcast empire. We've done this with some clients for a done for you aspect right now, but we want to turn it into a mastermind in the future. So it's an annual mastermind where we work intimately with the CEO of Podcast Closing and the core leadership team to essentially scale to 7 or 8 figures with the podcast. So with this mastermind, you'll be working with all of the key team players that we have inside of our own business. So our core methodology for this mastermind is around attracting, hiring, and keeping A-player talent for the podcast closing team, training the podcast setters and closers to be the best in the industry, building a team ecosystem that creates consistent and predictable results, building systems and processes to create what we call compound leverage within the podcast, and building in audience growth levers to grow the shows to 1 million downloads within 18 months. And really, we're trying to build a simple, repeatable, and scalable acquisition system using sub-podcasts. And the end goal is basically a series of these miniature sub-podcasts which cash flow. They bring you booked sales calls and close deals every week, all while growing the shows to be a huge audience of subscribers and listeners. And we'll go through 7 distinct phases in the Podcast Closing Team Mastermind. The first being the clarity phase, where we get clear on what that long-term plan for building the podcast empire looks like. The phase 2 is the building and hiring phase. So we act on the plan from the clarity phase, and we want to hire 1 to 2 podcast setters to host the shows, and then hire a closer later on to build out the compound leverage systems into our funnel. Phase 3 is the training on onboarding. We help people to actually onboard those team members and to get them trained up to be the best they can be in the role. The execution phase is phase 4, where those setters focus on volume and quality of booked calls. So we get them to their minimum KPIs, essentially doing between 20 and 30 interviews each week per setter, with about half of them turning into sales calls. We give them the feedback throughout that. Phase 5 is the closer phase, where we bring in a dedicated sales closer to handle all the sales calls so you don't have to as the owner. And then phase 6 is probably the most exciting. We call this the supercharged growth phase, where we set up what we call a podcast closing trio. which is 2 setters and 1 closer. That creates the one trio that they can be self-sufficient. And we double down on getting another trio of podcast closers to basically double the book calls and double the revenue. We focus on creating the micro content machine, which is using some of the cash we generate to create micro content from those episodes. Something we call the reverse waterfall funnel, which is where we send all the listeners of these other interview sub podcasts back up the waterfall to go to your core show, and something we call core show podcast ads, where we get you to grow the show with podcast ads from the cash generated from these shows. And so the quantifiable end result as people come through the second program is a team of 2 podcast setters and 1 closer closing 100K a month in deals. And we're building out that compounding referral system, which actually increases leads by 250% on average. And basically a system to generate 6 to 9K a month in free advertising, which is going to help you grow the show to 1 million downloads over 18 months. And so we focus on building out these 4 key areas of compound leverage for each of our clients' sub-podcasts. These are the shows run by the podcast setters. And the 4 key areas of compound leverage is cash flow. We get it to produce cash so you can reinvest into the growth. Leads, each sub-podcast produces a 250% increase in leads. Ad spend, each of those shows generates 6K to 9K a month in free ad spend. And then talent, we want to be able to use the podcast to attract the very best talent so you can bring them into your company and get that growth that you need. And so the vibe, I wanted to describe the vibe of the kind of people that are coming in this. The clients who join this mastermind are high-level entrepreneurs. We're regularly attracting 7 and 8 figure clients into the program. Clients understand that we're all pushing to create the best podcasts in the industry. Everyone is growth oriented. And one of the biggest parts of this group is the quality of the people and how willing they are to help each other. And the team every day is innovating and contributing to the community with what's working today. And so the support that we're planning to build into that is each of our team leaders inside of the business are going to be regularly contributing into that mastermind. So me as the CEO, our head of customer experience, the director of sales, our lead podcast setter, our lead closer, our director of ops, and any guests that are high players in the industry coming in to actually contribute. Now, retreats are going to be the backbone of this mastermind, and the community is going to be a really big part of this. And we let people join our programs with cash, Bitcoin, or an equity cut of their business. And really what we do within this is we create more 6 and 7 figure podcasts than any other business in our industry. Our goal for 2025 is to have over 100 plus 6-figure podcasts that we've helped create and 20 plus clients who've crossed 7 figures in sales with a podcast. To date, we've helped 2 clients cross 7 figures with their podcast. And I think we've helped create about 15 to 20 6-figure podcasts with people that we've worked with and over 350 people who've launched amazing shows. So really excited to just keep growing this as we have this as our target. Now, the next thing I want to talk about in the VidVision is the retreats and events that we want to create. One of the really big things is that we want to create an entity in Costa Rica that people want to come and visit. So for our program members, we actually include 2 next level events every single year, and we also host quarterly retreats. And the events are basically included for our highest level members, but they're open to all of our customers. And the retreats, we make them very cheap for the people that are inside of our programs. And so the retreats, they're only open to our customers and they're world class. Our clients say, really, our entire program is worth it for just one of these retreats. And we do them every 3 months. And even our core customers come and are often so impressed that they ascend into our highest level coaching program at the retreats. And the goal of the retreats is essentially to break even, to make the experience so desired by our clients that there's a strong wait list to attend these events. And we host 15 to 20 person retreats at unique and high-end locations in Costa Rica. And the retreat experiences allow for this more intimate experience with the best of the best within our communities. And these experiences are almost entirely focused on networking, relaxing, and connection. There's very little teaching that happens at these retreats. And it's a way for our clients to build a deeper connection with others in the community and with us as a team. And so for all of our retreats, we include the tour of our local office in Costa Rica, and we show them behind the scenes of how our company works. And we use the retreats as a way to basically create amazing media for our clients, create in-person testimonials, deepen the bonds of our customers, and get our customers excited about the next stage in their podcast and business journey. Now, alongside the retreats, we're also going to be hosting events. So we host 4-day events twice a year at our custom built office that's based in Costa Rica. And so it's 5 minutes from the ocean. It's basically a podcasting playground. Our on-site team, they get involved, and this is a cornerstone of our programs, our business and our team. And our customers credit these events with inspiring them to dream a lot bigger. One goal of these events is to showcase our clients. We want our clients to talk on stage about what they do and how it can help further those in the community, as well as bringing in other experts. And another goal is to basically share the latest of what's working today and to come up with interesting ideas on how our clients can team up together to dominate in the industry. And so we want the impact of the events and retreats to help people to get excited about maybe wanting to move to Costa Rica. One of our big goals is to make Costa Rica a bed for high-level entrepreneurs. Events help break insane beliefs, and we host 100 plus people at these events in our offices. We have a state-of-the-art office that we built in Costa Rica that can host up to 100 people for events, and we empower our community to collaborate and rise up together as one big unit. We want to be dominating the podcast industry by operating as one single unit. Now, I want to talk a little bit about our clients and what our clients are going to look like by November 2025. Not 20,000 years in the future. Our customers, they're typically 25 to 50-year-old entrepreneurs with, sometimes we have customers who are a bit older, but they have more feminine energy than masculine energy. They want to focus on impact and growth, but they're not really interested in bro marketing or masculine closing styles. They're hungry for growth so they can create more impact and live their dream lifestyle. And our clients are striving to become the most impactful and the most well-known podcast in their niche in industry. I love hanging out with them. They're into health, fitness, lifestyle. They see our Costa Rica life. They crave the sun, the freedom, and the contribution that we're creating. And they're the kind of person who'd jump at trying surfing for the first time, going out for a casual drink in a game of pool, or watching the sunset with our team. And our clients feel like Costa Rica is their second home, from visiting every 3 to 6 months during our events and retreats. Now, I want to talk next about our brand, because brand is a really important part of the vision that we're creating. And our brand is quirky and fun. Our podcast marketing, our email copy, they're hilarious. People are constantly commenting on how funny and upbeat they are. Our brand is known for consistently creating a lot of content. We're known as the leading brand for interviewing business owners with podcasts. We have 8 total podcast shows, which are the backbone of telling the story of our company. Each has a specific goal and a specific role to either grow the company, improve the culture, attract talent, or acquire customers. And our team loves podcasts, and we have this amazing dynamic on the microphone that could be compared to shows like Reply All or Impulsive. We're affiliated with multiple podcasts as part of our larger brand, and we actually have 10 plus shows that have been opened under our podcast brand's umbrella. Each of these shows, we own an equity stake in that business. And we're synonymous with entrepreneurship in Costa Rica. People look at our business and dream of moving to Costa Rica, either joining our team or living the dream lifestyle in their own business. And we're really known for having massive talent pools of operators, sales, marketers, and coaches because of our podcast connections. We use podcasts to attract top team players for our communities. Now, I want to now take a quick peek and talk about podcasts, because podcasts is a huge part of our vision. And I want to help you guys understand what the vision is for where we want our podcast to be by November 2025. So podcasts are a core part of our business model. We're known for using podcasts in every single aspect of our business, both internally and externally. We're talking about from hiring, sales, operations, onboarding. We use podcasts for everything. So let me just give you a quick breakdown of this. For hiring, we use a podcast to attract and fill our team bench with amazing A-player talent who'd be interested in working with us or with a client. So we're actively attracting talent all the time, filling up our reserve bench so that when we need person, they're there and ready to jump in. Sales. We use our podcast to produce massive amounts of booked sales calls for our business and for all of our clients' businesses. Operations. We use podcasts to guide our customers and our team through our product experience and through our internal experiences of the business. Onboarding. We use podcasts to onboard new team members and get them comfortable in their roles. And then culture. We produce internal podcasts from different team members to give updates on what's happening inside of the company. And each of our external podcasts follow our exact podcast closing process that we teach our clients. And all of the shows grow to a large amount of downloads and subscribers thanks to our compound leverage systems that we use. And so I want to describe these 8 total podcast shows that we have and help you guys understand what it is that we're creating. So first of all, we have our core podcast. This is the solo content run by the CEO. So for me, I'm going to be creating educational content about how to build a 6, 7, or 8 figure business, especially by doing it with a podcast. So that's the one core show. It's kind of like what traditional podcasts are for most people. And then we're going to have 4 sub podcasts. So these sub podcasts are run by our podcast setters. And these are 4 interview shows that actually we create interview content with our dream customers who is business owners who have podcasts. And the goal there is to basically build connections, build rapport, build relationships, give amazing experience to these business owners. So we're giving them results in advance. And then a lot of them are going to want to get on sales calls and actually get help doing their own podcast. Now, the 6th type of show that we want to create is a talent podcast. So a talent podcast, our goal here is to regularly interview individuals who are at the top of their game in core roles within a company. So we're talking about interviewing people in sales, in operations, and in marketing. So we use this podcast to basically fill our bench with key talent who are ready to jump into roles as they open up. So that's the talent podcast. Now, the next podcast, the 7th one, is a team-based talk show. Think of a show like Impulsive or Reply All. So we bring in 3 core team members from our team and 1 new guest or new team member to talk about a wide variety of topics. So this is really a lot more fun. It's a lot more interesting. There's a lot more dynamics that are at play. You know, we've got probably different podcast hosts from different shows who are coming onto the show together, and we're really going to keep that varied in style, but it's going to be entertainment focused above all else. And then finally, we have an internal company podcast. So we use this to give the team deeper inside knowledge of what's happening in the bigger picture of the company and for updates on internal teams, their roles, what's happening, and, you know, giving updates around the company. So that's everything to do with what we want to create with our podcasts. The next thing I want to talk about is the community. So we've created an amazing community culture, not just in our business, but in the local area. People see our brand and they want to move to Costa Rica. We've created this wonderful yet low-key entrepreneurship community in Tamarindo, and our business has helped Tamarindo to really start attracting high-level entrepreneurs to come and live here. We're arming coaches with the acquisition skills to create and live their dream lifestyle. So we're known for getting entrepreneurs to move to Costa Rica, and our brand's community extends not just to our customers, but our listeners of our podcasts. At this stage, we're well on our way of our goal of hitting 100 million total podcast downloads for our shows, and we've amassed a listenership of entrepreneurs and business owners looking to level up and hit 7 and 8 figures. Now, I next want to talk about values and principles because I think this is super important. It's important for us to think about like what we stand for and what we embody in our company culture. And for us, there are really about 4 to 5 key values and principles that we live in as our team and our company. So the first is unimpeachable character and transparency. We actually got this from Alex Hormozi, really powerful. We want to be, if you're on our team, we want to be the type of person that people want to associate with. You want to always be above reproach in how you show up in your day-to-day life as well as your role. Above all, you want to embody transparency. You know, your mess becomes your message, so we're not scared to be transparent with our customers, our team, and ourselves, to understand that transparency leads to understanding. And vulnerability is the key to understanding as well. So we want that as one of the core factors of any team member that comes in. We want good people who do things for the right reasons. The second value is we want to think and act like owners. So we're empowered to look at both of our own role and the entire business as owners. So every role has variable compensation tied into the profit of the company. So they tie into this value. So as they grow in the role and as the company grows, everybody gets rewarded like their owners. The third value is a problem-solving culture. So with this problem-solving culture, we constantly solve our own problems and that of our teammates. We're always coachable and everybody has the humility to accept feedback even when it hurts. And we look to self-solve issues as they come up within our roles and within the business. And everybody in the company can be questioned. It doesn't matter whether it's the CEO or the COO. Everybody can constantly be questioned. If there's something that could be done better, we're really focused on the best way to do something, not, top-down leadership. And so really, really important. Now, the fourth value is focus and simplicity. So we constantly ask ourselves, what can we eliminate? What can we simplify? Or what can we automate? And every task, we look through the lens of focus and simplicity. And the fifth value, and this is honestly the most important value out of everything we do in the company, is world-class experiences. We believe that experiences are the secret to a fulfilling life. So we actively conspire to create as many world-class and unforgettable experiences for our team, for our clients, and our community as often as possible. And so some of the traits that we covet is focus and simplicity, patience, micro slow, macro fast, and humility and transparency. Now, the next section I want to talk about is probably my favorite, which is the team culture. And so for our culture inside of our business, especially for the next couple of years, we have a winning team culture instead of a family culture. Unlike teams who are families, we don't accept or allow behavior that's not in the company's best interest. Our team performs like an NBA all-star team. They're always willing to go above and beyond. We have a collective desire to win, and we understand that's why we have so much freedom in our roles. We always make decisions based on asking the question, is this in the best interest of the company? We hire with a huge emphasis on culture and recognize that we want to win as a team. Our team's outspoken. We relish feedback. We embrace it with open arms. We know failure and feedback is necessary to succeed. And we have a culture of openness and transparency and focus on receiving feedback at all levels. A brand new hire is free to question the CEO or any role. And we always look at the data and the facts to assess decisions, taking emotion out of it. Above all else, though, we value experiences. What makes us revolutionary is the fact that we actively aim to make our team's lives better through focusing on world-class experiences. Every single day, we're asking the question, how can we make this job the best job in the world for our team members? So travel is a major part of our cultural value. We embed travel into our team meetings, encouraging our team to participate in our quarterly retreats. And each year we host an annual retreat voted on by the team in a different country. People call us crazy because we set a team travel budget to allow all of our team members to experience travel and allocate a portion of our profits to travel for the team. That's individually. We have a budget where we say, hey, if you want to go and work from Colombia, if you want to go work from England, if you want to go work from there, we'll give you money to go and travel and experience that, because we know experience is the backbone of a fulfilling life, which helps you to perform the best. So we want to take our team around the world. We want to create immersive and amazing experiences that they'll want to tell their grandchildren about. So we prioritize sunsets. And even though we have an amazing office culture, our team has flexibility to work in a hybrid environment, to work from home, as well as in our office that's based in Costa Rica. We regularly outperform teams that are twice the size of us, and people wonder how we can be so profitable and efficient when most of our team is at the beach for sunset every single day. We have a massive leisure focus as a company. Our team has a beach culture, with our team regularly surfing together. We have surfboards at our office location, a dedicated instructor to teach both our clients and our team members how to surf, and we regularly host board meetings out in the water to get our team to creatively think and brainstorm while out in the ocean away from technology. The best minds in the world want to come to work for us to live the Costa Rica freedom lifestyle. And a strongly held belief that we have is simplicity over complexity. We always focus on getting tasks done in the simplest manner. Our team constantly questions complexity, and we won't stand by and say nothing. And we endorse our team to basically become creative influencers, to launch podcasts and ventures under the umbrella of the company. So we use our influence and success to kickstart the personal brands of our team members, kind of like Logan Paul has helped launch entrepreneurs like Mike Malek on his team, and he's now an influencer in his own right. So our team, we have close relationships and friendships both in and out of the work environment, and we'll often host dinner events, games nights, movie nights, and more for our team. We also regularly go and do relocations with our team every couple of months. And so we'll go as a team and spend 2, 3, 4 weeks in a new environment where we go and host an office. We get accommodation and we move the whole team to a new environment to actually go and experience that travel culture whilst also working as a team. We also have a paradise relocation package. So for new team members who want to come work for us in person in Costa Rica, we include things like subsidized rent for employees, help in becoming a resident. We also include things like occasional event tickets, dinners, coffees, all that kind of stuff for our team members, as well as making sure that our office down in the local place in Costa Rica provides everything our team could need. We have an in-house chef who comes and prepares meals and food prep for all the people that work inside of the office. We have everything designed to be the best experience possible for the people that are working there. And some of the team member benefits, we have a focus on experience and life fulfillment. And so we include all our employees a whole host of benefits. Our number one goal here is to make our roles so attractive that our team members both want to achieve their own personal goals within the structure of our own organization, and so we can attract the best talent in the world to come and work for us. So benefits include things like industry-leading compensation, competitive paid time off, Costa Rica Paradise relocation packages, remote work environments, and in-office, dedicated team travel budgets to give world-class experience, and team members who move to Costa Rica and are actually in that local office with us, we have things like food and beverages included, dedicated surf instructors, 5 minutes from the beach, included gym membership, support with getting residency, partial rent subsidization, tax benefits of operating out of Costa Rica, and help actually setting up things like tax benefits, occasional event tickets, Costa Rica private healthcare, everything we can think of that's going to make that experience as good as possible. Now, I want to talk about our office space because this is a huge part of our vision of what we're creating. And so by November 2025, we have a custom-built office space that is a podcaster's paradise. We have dedicated studios set up for completing podcasts. We have an open plan office and workspace, as well as private offices and studios to complete private calls and these podcast interviews within. Again, our office is just 5 minutes from the beach. We have surfboards on site for all of our team. We have fruits and vegetables delivered to the office twice a week for our team to make smoothies. We have a fridge fully stocked with drinks, iced coffees, beverages. And we have an on-site chef who cooks all of the meals for people who are within the team. And we have this recreational area for our team where we can unwind, include sofas, pool tables, that sort of thing. And our office converts into an event space for our clients twice a year, and we can host up to 100 different people. Now, the next thing about our vision is talking about the finances of where we're going to be. So we run a lean and highly profitable business. We operate at a 50% plus net margin and a 70 to 75% gross margin for our products. We do about $6 million a year in sales, 3 to 4 million from our core product, which is around 20 to 25 new clients every month, and $1.5 to $3 million in our high level program. And we have about $250,000 stored in cash in our business war chest to make sure we're prepared for any situation. Now, talking about marketing and operations, our marketing is focused 100% around our shows. We aim to attract dream clients to our sub-podcast to generate cash flow and grow our shows, and our podcasts grow their audience over time, and we use our reverse waterfall funnel to drive more and more listeners to our podcast to be interviewed and to listen to our core show. Our entire goal is to generate cash flow and audience growth through podcast clothing with our sub podcasts and to grow our show's audience over time, which will create more customers flowing back to us. We have a huge level of referrals within our program, and over 40% of our revenue comes from just referral business. And it's our sense of community, our powerful and well-created acquisition systems, and the high-level individuals that makes our program so transformational. Our competition is terrified to run against us, as we can outspend them 5x over with our ad budgets, because most of our competitors' lifetime value is 5 to 10 times smaller than our lifetime value. Now, I want to talk about operational structure. Our company is focused on staying as lean as possible while still allowing us room to grow and improve. So our leadership team is made up of the CEO, director of sales, director of ops, and director of client success. And the rest of the team, we're going to have a marketing manager, 4 podcast setters, 2 sales executives, 2 executive assistants, and 1 marketing assistant. And our sales team is our biggest department with 7+ sales team members, including the director. Now, for media, we're well known in the industry as being the #1 business podcast solution. We have the reputation of being master marketers and sales teams within podcasting. We've crafted and we've mastered our craft, and regularly people point to our team as an example of what great looks like. And our primary skill set and the thing we teach all the time in the media in our podcasts is acquisition. We teach marketing, sales, email, direct response, business economics, scaling teams, podcast leverage, audio leverage, paid acquisition, and A-player media coverage. And we're regularly interviewed on top shows to share our experience and knowledge, and we speak at events and are often invited to these high-level events to share what we're doing in the podcast industry. Now, that is everything with our vivid vision. I know so many people often have such a small vision, and I'm actually going to include a link to our vivid vision document for you guys inside of here, so you can see a bit more behind it. But the reason we created this vision was really important. We wanted to have clarity as a team and for us as individuals to where we're working towards. So many parts of this vivid vision we're already planning to implement within the next 6 months, within the next 12 months. And I'm really excited to bring this vision to life, because the more we think about this vision, the more we want to create something that's truly impactful, that changes the game for podcasting. We want to be the number one innovators in the podcast space, where people look at what we're doing and they ask, how is that even possible? How are they creating so many innovations so frequently? And it's because we do this in our business. Our clients do this. Our podcasts do this, and we really want to be the leader in this space. So I wanted to share this with you because I think, one, it's exciting to talk about this vision. For me, it's amazing to bring it to life. And more than anything, I'm really wanting to help people understand what it is that we're trying to create with this brand new company, with this brand new focus, and for you guys to get as excited about it as I am, because so many of these things I have so much passion and energy for. Attracting amazing teams, having in-person offices, making these transformational podcasts, helping people share their message, teaching business owners how to get massive reach and profit coming into their business so that they can reach the next level. And so I was excited to share this, guys, with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have questions, or if you're somebody that's saying, you know what, I love this vision and maybe I want to come and work with Jamie, or maybe I want to try and figure out if I can get help with them inside of the business with any of the programs they have. If you're interested in actually talking about getting help inside of the business, you guys can go to www.podcastrebels.com/call, and you can book a team with one of our sales teams, and we can see whether we can help you in your business. And if you're somebody that says, you know what, I want to come and work for this company, this sounds really exciting, then what you can do is go to podcastclosing.com/hiring, and you guys can go and check out our hiring page. It will tell you if there are any available roles within the company that we're hiring for. And I'm really excited to hear more from you guys in terms of what you thought. If you enjoyed this episode, let me know what you think about our vision. Head to my instagram.com/Jamie Atkinson, or just search for Jamie Atkinson, and shoot me a message. Let me know what you think about our vision. I'm always excited to hear about what you guys think. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you on the next episode.